Commander Zex Thara stood before the Galactic Council's holographic display, her crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the dying light of 1,000 burning worlds. The numbers scrolled endlessly across the quantum screen's casualty reports from 17 star systems, each one a testament to humanity's unprecedented rage. "How many ships have we lost?" she asked, though she already knew the answer would be catastrophic. 47,000 vessels across all Allied fleets, replied General Morgoth, his tentacles writhing with barely contained panic. "The humans, they're not fighting like any species we've encountered before. They're fighting like they have nothing left to lose." The irony wasn't lost on Zex Thara. For 3 centuries, the Galactic Consortium had profited from humanity's enslavement. Earth's children had been harvested, trained, and sold across the galaxy as the perfect workers intelligent enough to handle complex tasks, yet supposedly docile enough to remain compliant. Every major civilization had participated in the trade. The Vorthan Empire used human labor in their crystal mines. The Aquatic Collective employed them in deep-sea construction. Even the peaceful Zendari had purchased humans for their meditation gardens. It had been the most profitable enterprise in galactic history. The first warning signs appeared when human slave populations across 12 systems simultaneously began exhibiting strange behaviors. They stopped eating. They stopped working. They stood in perfect silence, staring at their captors with eyes that burned with an intelligence no one had expected. Within hours, they were dead, all of them, across every world, at exactly the same moment. Then came the message. It arrived on every communication channel simultaneously, broadcast from Earth itself. The image showed a woman with graying hair and eyes, like frozen nitrogen. Behind her stood others humans, who had somehow remained free, hidden in the depths of their home world while their species suffered. "My name is Dr. Sarah Chen," the woman had said, her voice carrying the weight of accumulated centuries of rage. "I am speaking on behalf of the Human Liberation Front. For 300 years, you have taken our children. You have broken our families. You have treated us like cattle. Today, that ends." What followed was not war, it was extermination with scientific precision. The humans had spent 3 centuries preparing. While their enslaved kin suffered across the galaxy, the remaining population of Earth had been busy. They had studied every species that had participated in the slave trade. They had analyzed their biology, their psychology, their technology. They had learned how each civilization functioned, how their societies operated, and most importantly, how to destroy them completely. The weapon systems that emerged from Earth were beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. Ships that could phase in and out of normal spacetime, making them nearly impossible to target. Biological agents tailored specifically to each alien species' unique physiology. Quantum viruses that could corrupt an entire civilization's technology infrastructure within minutes. But the most terrifying aspect wasn't the weapons, it was the strategy. Humans didn't just attack military targets. They systematically dismantled everything that made each civilization function. They poisoned food supplies, collapsed economic systems, and turned entire populations against their own governments by exposing the profits made from human slavery. They broadcast the screams of enslaved human children into every home on every world, forcing entire species to confront the horror they had supported. "They're not trying to conquer us," whispered Ambassador Yelnoth, her bioluminescent patches flickering with fear. "They're trying to make us extinct." Zex Thara accessed the latest intelligence reports. On 17 worlds, complete societal collapse had occurred within weeks of humanity's first strike. The Kethmaran hegemony had dissolved when their slave-dependent economy crumbled overnight. The proud stellar dominion watched their homeworld burn as human-engineered nanoplagues consumed their population centers. The humans moved root, identified every weak point, and planned for every possible response. It was as if they had been playing a game of galactic chess for centuries, while everyone else was still learning the rules. "Sir," came a trembling voice from the communications station, "we're receiving another transmission from Earth." Dr. Chen appeared again, but now she stood before a massive display, showing the burning ruins of a dozen civilizations. "You believed we were weak because we could be enslaved. You were wrong. We allowed ourselves to be taken because we needed to understand you, all of you. Every species that profited from our suffering has revealed their weaknesses to us through 3 centuries of close observation." She paused, and her expression grew even colder. "We gave you a choice. Release our people and make reparations or face extinction. You chose to fight. Now you will learn what it means to anger a species that has spent its entire history perfecting the art of war." The transmission ended, and the council chamber fell silent. General Morgoth's voice barely registered above a whisper. "How long do our analysts predict our civilizations have?" Zexthara consulted her datapad, her hands shaking. "At current rates of destruction, 6 months, maybe less." The greatest irony of all was that humanity had learned their most devastating tactics from their captors. 3 centuries of observing galactic warfare, economic systems, and social structures had turned every enslaved human into an unwitting intelligence gatherer. The galaxy had taught them how to destroy civilizations by showing them how civilizations worked. As another star system winked out on the display, Zexthara finally understood the truth. They hadn't enslaved humanity, they had educated them. And now, their teachers were coming to collect. The last thought that crossed her mind before the quantum bomb struck the council station was that perhaps they should have treated their slaves with kindness. But it was far too late for such revelations. Earth had responded to slavery with extinction-level fury, and the galaxy would never recover.